All right, good morning, my friends in kindergarten. It's nice to see you. I hope you had a good weekend. I wanted to start out our day like we normally do on a Monday morning. So why don't we go ahead and why don't we start with our prayer? In the name of Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. God our Father, I give you today all that I think and do and say. I give you my love with Jesus, your Son. I will try to be kind and good and love everyone. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Normally on Monday morning, Miss McNichol also gives us our new jobs for the week. My request to you this week would be to ask Mom and Dad if there's one specific job that you can have. I know that you probably already do a job, but maybe it could be you're going to make your bed every morning, or you're going to maybe wash your breakfast dishes in the morning. But let's maybe take one specific job that you have for the week instead of a classroom job. The next thing I want to do is let's talk about the question of the day. We always have one. This is not going to be any different. So my question to you today is, which do you prefer, ketchup or mustard on your hot dog? If you ask Mom and Dad to send me a quick email at some point today with what your option is, then I can go ahead and tally those and we can figure out as a class which more of us prefer and which fewer of us prefer. Sorry, Mrs. Rooney's getting used to being on video. Patrick and Cormac had a lot of suggestions for me since they watch a lot of YouTube, and I decided I'm going to try to do it without all their suggestions. One was that I should be wearing sunglasses so that you can't see my eyes if I move around or something like that. I'm sure that would have been very funny, but Mrs. Rooney was not going to do that. So the next thing that I want to start with is let's review our letter sounds. You know these, I'm going to do them with you, and I'm going to ask you to make sure you clip those sounds and focus on the sounds that you're making. So let's do them together. H, hat. F, fun. F. Q, u, queen. Qu. N, nut. N. Go ahead and be saying them with me. R, rat. L, lamp. Ul. It's good practice. U, up. K, kite. K. C, cat. K. S, snake. S. T, top. T. J, jug. J. Y, yellow. Y. G, game. G. O, octopus. O. B, bat. B. Z, zebra. Z. W, wind. W. E, ed. F. X, fox. X. I, itch. I. D, dog. D. A, apple. A. P, pan. P. M, man. M. V, van. V. Good job. All right. We're going to practice those each day because those are really important, because we now know how to put them together, to write words, to make sentences, and to complete our thoughts. So we want to make sure we keep focusing on those. This week, we're going to start working on a new letter sound. We're going to start with the letter sound that we hear at the beginning of this picture card. That's right. It's an umbrella. Umbrella. I hear that sound at the beginning of that word. That sound is made by the letter U. I also, because we hear it at the beginning of the word, we also can hear U, like many of the vowels that we know, A, E, I, O, and U, which we've practiced this year. A lot of times are those vowels that are in the middle of a word. So for example, I hear the U sound at the beginning of umbrella. But if I look at the word like duck, duck, I hear that U sound in the middle of the word. So this week we're going to be listening for the U sound, that sound that we hear at the beginning of umbrella, but we also hear it in the middle of a word like duck, duck. So for example, if I look at the word up, because the elevator button is pointing to up, where do I hear that U sound? That's right, up. I hear it at the beginning of the word. If I look at a word like truck, truck, Where do I hear that U sound? That's right. Ch, t, k. Truck. I hear it in the middle of that word. Okay, so we're going to be looking at words this week that have the U sound at the beginning and where we hear it in the middle. I'm going to ask you to pause for a second, and I'm going to ask you to open up your Skills Buddy. You have this book at home. I sent it home with you. I'm going to ask you to open up, and I'm going to ask you to look at page 52 in the pink heart and 53 in the pink heart. I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and open up your book. And once you get onto that page, I'm going to ask you to look for the picture of the little girl who is upset. Upset. You should see her there. She has her hands up in the air and she looks upset. Upset. Okay? Where do we hear the U sound in the word upset? Upset. We hear it at the beginning. Very good. Can you find anything else on this page that has the sound at the beginning? I'll give you a minute to look. Okay, good. Let's take a look at the man who's going up the ladder. Up. He's going up the ladder. Very good. All right. How about let's take a look at the person who's in charge of the baseball game, right? He's an umpire. Umpire. I hear that sound at the beginning. If I go down here and I look at the mole, he's underground. Underground. All three of those words, upset, underground, umpire, have that U sound at the beginning. But like we said, we can also hear that U sound in the middle of a word. So let's take a look at the duck. Duck. That's right, we hear that sound in the middle. How about the truck? Truck. I hear that U sound in the middle, okay? All right, very good. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to give you a couple of words. I'm going to say two words. One word will begin with that sound, like umbrella, Tell me which one of my words has that sound at the beginning, like umbrella. Under or over? You answer. If you chose under, then you were right. Very good. Under. Over has that O sound at the beginning. Okay, let's listen to these two words. Up or down? Up or down? Down. Which one has that U sound like we hear at the beginning of umbrella? Very good. Up does. Down has that D sound at the beginning. Very good. Okay, this one's going to be a little trickier. I want you to listen carefully. We also said that we can hear that U sound in the word duck, but we hear it in the middle. Duck. This time I'm going to say two words, and I want you to tell me which one has that U sound that we hear in the middle of the word. Listen very carefully. Tap them out. Say cup, k, up, and say cap, k, ap. Okay? Which one has that sound like duck? Very good. Cup does. K, up, cup. Very good. Listen to these two words. Say bag, b-ag, bag, and say bug, b-ug, bug. Which one has that U sound in the middle? That sound. Very good. Bug does. Say fun, f-un, fun. Now say fan, f-an, fan. Which one has that sound in the middle? Very good. Fun, f-un, fun has that U sound. Say rib, ib, rib, and say rub, ub, rub. Which one has that sound in the middle? Very good. Rub does. Say not, n-ot, not, and say nut, n-ut, nut. Which one has that U sound in the middle? Very good. Nut does. Say tub with me. T-ub, tub. Say tab with me. T-ab, tab. Which one has that U sound in the middle? Very good. Tub does. T-ub, tub. Okay, last two. Say mad. M-ad, mad. And say mud. M-ud, mud. Which one has that U sound in the middle? Very good. Mud does. M-ud, mud. Very good. Okay, so this week we're going to be listening for that U sound at the beginning of a word, or we might be listening for it in the middle of the word. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of reading on the board as I write some words. So I'm going to have you watch me carefully. I'm going to write the word. I want to write the word mud. So I'm going to write the word mud. M-U-D, mud. Let's say that together. M-U-D, mud. I want to change the middle sound to make a new word. So if I get rid of that U sound and I add the A sound, what's my new word? Tap it out. Add, mad. Very good. I made a new word by changing that middle sound. Okay. How about if I write this word? Let's put these sounds together. Net, net, net. If I want to change the middle sound and take away that E sound, if I want to put the O sound, I'm going to turn it this way so I can see a little bit better. I have a new word, don't I? Let's put it together. Not, not. Very good. Let's write another word. Bad. B-ad, bad. If I take away that A sound and I add an E sound to it, now my word says what? That's right. B-ed, bed. Very good. If I take away the E sound, I can make yet another word. If I add that U sound, now my word is going to say, that's right, bud, bud. I can keep making new words by changing my middle sound. Let's do two more. Let's do this word. Put these sounds together for me. Hum. You hum a little song, right? If I take away that U sound and I place this I, now my word is going to be, that's right, him, him. Very good. If I take away that I sound and I add an A, now my word is going to say, that's right, am, ham. Very good. All right, last one. Let's do B-A-G. That's right, bag. If I take the A sound away and change it to an I sound, now my word is going to say, that's right, big, big. Very good. If I take away that I sound and I put a U sound, that's right, now my word is going to say, bug, bug. Very good. All right, now what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some words and let's take a look at them and have you sound them out as I write them. J, D. Right, Judd. Very good. Let's sound out this one. P. Very good. Up, up. Very good. Now this one's going to have a blend, so make sure you make all 4 sounds. O, A, N. What's that word? Very good. P, O, An. Plan. Very good. How about this word? What's that word? Very good. Un. Fun. Very good. And let's do one more. Us. Very good. All right, last one before we move to our reading workbooks, okay? Say bed, b-ed, bed, and say tug, t-ug, tug. Which word has that U sound in the middle? Very good, tug does. How about the word us and on? Which one has the U sound at the beginning? Very good, us does. How about run or un or wax, wax? Which one has the U sound in the middle? Very good, run does. How about ugly or ant? Which one has the U sound at the beginning? Very good, ugly does. How about the word up or egg? Which one has that U sound at the beginning? That's right, up does. Very good. How about hut, or it, hit? Which one has the U sound in the middle? Very good, hut does. Hut, hut. And last one, say cat, k-at, and say k-ut, cut. Which one has the U sound in the middle? Very good. Cut does. Very good. All right, now my friend, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to get your workbook page. You'll see it right in your blue folder. Mom and Dad knew where it was. Okay, what we're going to do right now is we're going to practice writing our letter U's. And we're going to use our neatest handwriting like we always do. Because it's Monday morning, we're going to write our name at the top of this page. Mrs. Rooney almost misspelled her name wrong. That's why we're practicing, okay? And we're gonna take our pencil. I'm gonna use my marker so you can see me. We're gonna curve down and around and pull straight down for uppercase U. We're gonna pull down and around and pull straight down for uppercase U. We're gonna pull down and around and pull straight down for uppercase U. We're going to pull down and around and pull straight down for uppercase U. We're going to pull down and around and pull straight down for uppercase U. We're going to circle our favorite one like we always do. And then we're going to do lowercase u. But we want to make sure that we're going to start at that dotted line for lowercase u. So we're going to pull down and around and curve down. They look like uppercase U's, but we're just going to make sure we do them below the dotted line. Make sure you're not giving it a kickstand, like out to the side. Make sure that it comes down and around and pulls straight down, down and around and pulls straight down. Make sure you're looking at your U's, okay? I'm going to circle my favorite one. I think my last one was. Now this is a very difficult name, but let's put our sounds together. See if you can put those sounds together for me. O, ah. O, ah. Allah. Not a big fan of that one, so let's just copy that one. I never really am. Let's go across to one that we do recognize. Let's put those two sounds together. Can you put those two sounds together for me? Up, up. Very good. Up. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to turn your page, and I'm going to ask you to pause after we get to this page, because you're going to do this page and you know how to do this page. You're going to take a look And you're going to say each word to yourself. I'm going to say the words for you so you know what each is. We have an umbrella. We have an ump. Remember, we saw him on our Skills Buddy page. We have an apple. We have a boy under the desk. We have an elevator that is going up. And we have an elephant. You're going to take a look at each one of those words, and if they begin with a lowercase u, or if they begin with the U sound, you're going to write a lowercase u on the line. Then you're going to color in only those pictures that begin with that U sound. Be very careful. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to pause now, and I'm going to ask you to go do that workbook page for me. Okay. You've completed your page. You're going to check it against mine right now. You should have the umbrella, the ump, under, and up with your lowercase u's neatly. I'm going to ask moms and dads just to check for neatness and to make sure that you colored in the correct words and the correct pictures. And if you didn't, put an X on those ones. If mom and dad say that your paper is nice and neat, your front page and the back page, then you may go ahead and put a star on your papers. Okay? All right. I'm going to ask you to pause for a minute if you're done. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to get out your phonics story. Fun for Judd. That is in your blue folder too. That is in your packet. You can ask mom and dad to help you pull that out real quick and then fold it. Go ahead and let's get our name written at the top of our page, like we always do with that story. Okay, just like that. All right, now this week we have 3 new sight words, 3 brand new sight words. We have the sight word was, W-A-S, was. I'm going to ask you to stand up where you're working right now, take a little stretch, and I'm going to ask you to put 2 fingers out, and let's write that word big. Let's write that word big. I'm going to hold it right here so you can still see the word was, but let's write that word big. Put your 2 fingers out like we do in the classroom, and let's write the word, write the word was. Let's do it together. W-A-S, was. Okay, let's write it again. W-A-S, was. And whatever table or desk you're sitting at, take your 2 fingers and let's write was on our desk. W-A-S, was. And let's write it one more time with our 2 fingers. W-A-S, was. We can't sound this out. That's why these are one of our sight words, because if we try to sound this out, it's going to say was. I was going to the store. You're not was going to the store. It's I was going to the store. That's why we just have to memorize these sight words, because if we try to sound them out, they're not going to work. They're not following the rules that we've been learning. Okay? The next sight word we're going to be working on this week is, I'm opening up my story here. Another one. We're going to be working on this one. What? Very good. It's one of those question words. What were you doing today? So in our big 2 fingers, let's write what. Put our 2 fingers out straight and let's write what. W-H-A-T, what. Okay, let's write it again. W-H-A-T, what. Go ahead and take your 2 fingers and write it on whatever desk you're working on. W-H-A-T, what. Let's write it again. W-H-A-T, what. Very good. We have one more that we're going to be working on this week, and that one is said. I said you were doing a great job. So let's go ahead and write that one. S-A-I-D, said. Let's write it again, big letters. S-A-I-D, said. Take your two fingers and write it on the desk. S-A-I-D, said. Let's write it again. S-A-I-D, said. Very good. Okay, and again, those are words that we cannot sound out. If we try to sound this out, it's going to say s-a-id, s-a-d. Sounds like you're sad, but that's not what you're saying. And the other one that I didn't do, but I want you to look at again, is this one. If I try to sound this out, it sounds like w-at, wat. What were you doing? Nope, it's what were you doing? Not following the rules that we've been learning, so we have to make sure that we just memorize that one, okay? All right, so in your story this week, our story is Fun for Judd. Fun for Judd. I'm going to read through the first time for you, and I want you to follow along with your finger. If you are ready to just read this on your own to mom and dad, you may go ahead and do that too, but I want to make sure that everyone is getting what they need. So I'm going to go ahead and read through the story. If you want to follow along the first time and then go off and read it on your own, you may do that as well. All right, so it says, the sun, there's our new sight word, was hot. Judd got up from bed. Okay, and again, if you're reading this on your own, you may read right along with me. Judd has to have a plan. Let's look at that one because that has a blend in it. So we might make sure we don't say a pan because he doesn't have a pan. He has a plan. Very good. What can he do for fun? Judd, there's that U sound in the middle, Judd will see his, now if you're not sure, cover over that S because that's just saying there's more than one and sound out that word. Pal, and then add that S because he's going to see more than one. Judd will see his pals. What, there's that new sight word, we don't want to say what, we want to say what will they do for fun? Judd ran to his pals. Judd said, let us go in. We will have fun. Where do you think they're going to have fun? If you said school, I think so. I agree with you. And if I'm looking for a clue to tell me that, if you look at Judd and his friends, what do they have on their backpacks? Or on their backs? They have their backpacks. Very good. Okay, now what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to take your reader. I'm going to ask you to read it out loud to yourself. Then I'm going to ask you to, hold on. I'm going to ask you to use, sorry, I can't find my markers. I have them right here. Give me a moment. Oh, there they are. Okay. I'm going to ask you to look for what in your story, and I'm going to ask you to circle it with your red marker, or red crayon, sorry, red crayon. I'm going to ask you to look for was, and ask you to circle that with your blue crayon. And I'm going to ask you to look for the word said, and I'm going to ask you to circle that with your green crayon, okay? So when you're all finished, I'm going to ask you to make sure that you circled those 3 different sight words throughout your story. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video, and then I'm going to ask you to go do that. Okay, so to check your work, we said we were going to find what and circle that with our red crayon. Very good. You should have found it on page 2 and 3. I wanted you to find the word was. And that you'll find on page 1. Very good. And the last one we were looking for was, that's right, said. And if you found said on page 4, then you found all those sight words. Okay, so that is the end of our morning part with our phonics and our workbook page and our phonics story. The next video is going to have our math on it. So if you need to take a little break, have your snack, maybe stretch a little, go ahead and do that. And then I'll see you back here in just a little bit for our math. All right, good job, my friends.